We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We bring us a big party, now bring us a big party, now bring us a big party every Santa here. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh.
It's snowing outside. Merry Christmas, everybody!
Frosty the Snowman was a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a bottle nose, and his eyes made out on coal. Frosty the...
It was Christmas time in London. People were milling about in the streets in brightly colored clothing. Costumed carolers cavorted from door to door, offering cheer in return for a penny or two. No, not an unusual Christmas at all. But for one man, it would be. I'm sure you know of whom I speak, none other than Ebenezer Scrooge. For Mr. Scrooge, Christmas was not a cheerful time. Indeed, for Mr. Scrooge, there had been no cheerful times for many years. He traveled through life with storm clouds over his head, storm clouds that were heavy, black, and pendulous. It's true he was well off. It's also true that he had little to complain about, but complain he did. And our story tonight begins in Mr. Scrooge's place of business. Bob Cratchit, the company clerk, sits at his desk, warming his hands over a lonely candle. See? Candle that is remarkable only in that it fails to deliver any meaningful amount of light or warmth. We see Scrooge in his office, poring over the accounts of people who owe him money. Scrooge is a moneylender, a profession that often profits from the misfortunes of others and charges them dearly for that service.
Brownlow, 20 pounds, 12 shilling. Well overdue. Squares, 12 pounds, 8 shilling and 8 pence. I'll see that paid soon. It'll be the worse for him. Cratchit! Cratchit! Put your hands to work, man. I don't pay you to mind the candle.
Yes, sir. Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
The door opens, letting in a cold gust of air, nullifying the candle's weak effect. But Bob Cratchit notices the cold as his face lights in a warm greeting for the man who has walked in. Enter Scrooge's nephew, Fred, whose countenance exudes warmth and cheer.
Good evening, Mr. Cratchit. A very Merry Christmas to you. I hope you and your family are well.
Well enough, Mr. Fred, well enough. A very Merry Christmas to you as well.
Is my uncle seeing callers?
Seeing them? How can I not see you? You're standing right there. Though I dare say to little benefit of myself. I may be an old fool, but I am not a blind one. What is your business, sir?
A Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Ah, bah humbug.
Christmas is a humbug, Uncle? I hope that's meant as a joke.
Well, it's not. Come, what is it you want? Don't waste all day, nephew.
I only want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Uncle. Don't be cross.
What else can I be when I live in such a world with fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out with Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time for paying bills without money? A time of finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer. If I can work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas your own way, and I'll keep it mine.
But you don't keep it.
Then leave it alone then. Much good it'll do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which I might have found enjoyment, by which I have not profited. I dare say Christmas among the rest. And though it has never put a scrap of gold in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good. As I say, God bless it.
Bah!
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll dine alone, thank you.
But why?
Why? Why did you get married?
Why? Because I fell in love with a wonderful girl.
And I fell in love with being alone. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, but you never came to see me before I was married. Why give it a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry with all my heart to find you so determined, but I have made the attempt to honor Christmas, and I'll keep that good spirit to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
Well, I take my leave of you, Mr. Cratchit. A very Happy New Year to you and to yours.
And to you as well, Mr. Fred.
Fred leaves the office. Scrooge and Cratchit return to their labors, but are soon interrupted by the bell.
Bells. Is it necessary to always have bells? Cratchit!
Yes, sir.
The bell, fool! See to it!
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas. Wolves howling and a Merry Christmas.
It's for you, sir.
Of course it's for me. You're not receiving callers, are you? Show them in.
Right this way, sir.
Yes? Yes?
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley's dead. 7 years tonight. What is it you want?
Well, I have no doubt that his kindness is very represented by his surviving partner. Here, sir, is my card.
Kindness? No doubt of it? All right, I can read. What is it you want?
At this festive season of the year...
It's winter and it's cold.
Yes, it is. And the more reason for my visit. At this time of year, it is more than usually desirable to make some slight provision for the poor and the penniless who suffer so greatly from the cold. Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comfort, sir.
Are there no debtors' prisons?
Well, many, sir.
And the workhouse? Is it still in operation?
It is still. I wish I could say it was not.
The poor law is still in full strength then?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to hear it. From what you said, I was afraid someone had stopped this operation.
Under the impression that they barely provide Christian cheer of mind or body to many people. A few of us are hoping to raise funds to buy the poor some meat, some drink, and some means of comfort. We choose this time because it's the time of all others when want is strongly felt and abundance rejoices. So may I put you down for something, sir?
Nothing.
Ah, you wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make lazy people merry. I help support the establishments I've mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are poorly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. This is not my affair. My business is. It occupies me constantly. Ask a man to give up life and means? Fine thing. What is it? I want to know. Charity? Damn charity! Good day to you, sir!
Very well, Mr. Scrooge. I wish you a Merry Christmas nonetheless.
Gentleman leaves and Cratchit returns to his work, avoiding eye contact with Mr. Scrooge.
Latch the door, Cratchit. Firmly, firmly. Draft as cold as the Christmas blowing in here. Charity. Blah! Cratchit. Cratchit!
Yes, sir?
Well, to work then.
It's evening, sir.
Is it?
Christmas evening, sir.
Oh, you'll want our day off tomorrow, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to deduct half a crown for your salary for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you? Still, you expect me to pay you a day's wage for a day of no work?
It's only once a year, sir.
Be here all the earlier then the next morning.
I will, sir.
Then off! Off!
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, sir.
Your candle. Extinguish it directly.
Cratchit blows out his candle and rapidly applies his scarf and meager coat, taking his leave before Scrooge changes his mind. Scrooge works for an hour more, but his attention is repeatedly diverted by the holiday noise of the street and the occasional sound of carolers at his door, hoping to gain a penny for their song.
Christmas Eve. Carolers. Bah! There. Another day.
Scrooge blows out his own lonely candle, dons his coat, and after locking his office doors and checking them twice, begins the cold walk home. Scrooge could easily afford a hackney cab. Were it his way, he could even afford a coach and four. But to this miser, the latter is ostentation and the former luxury. Does he not have two legs? Well, he get to his destination in due course. The cold to him, like his life, is just something that he must endure. In due course, he does, indeed, reach his destination, the house of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Where is it? Yes, here's the key.
As he applies his key, the face of Jacob Marley congeals within the wood of the door. Scrooge watches, unable to speak. As he reaches towards the visage, the door is opened from the inside by his porter, Sparsit. Scrooge remains fixed for a moment, his hands still raised.
Sparsit?
Yes, sir.
Hurry, let me in. The door, close it.
Did you knock, sir?
Knock? What matter? Here, light me up the stairs.
Yes, sir.
Sparsit leads his master up the stairs. They pass the cook on the way. Scrooge brushes by her.
Something to warm you, sir. Some porridge.
What? No, no, nothing.
Oh, Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas. Bah!
Your room, sir.
Yes. And good night.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Yes. I see you outstretched your hand, Sparsids. There'll be no Christmas coin from me. Out!
As he closes the door, he is startled by the charwoman, who is directly behind him.
Warm your bed for you, sir.
What? Out!
Aye, sir.
As she moves towards the door, Marley's voice can be heard in the distance.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
What's that?
Me, sir. Not a thing, sir.
Then good night.
Good night, sir.
Scrooge, ready for bed, warms himself before the heap of coals in the fireplace. A strange noise arises. Scrooge is startled by the sound of change. He quickly puts on his nightcap and escapes to his bed.
Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge.
What do you want with me?
Much.
Who are you?
Ask who I was.
Who were you?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
No, he's dead.
7 years this night, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Why did you come here?
I must. It is commanded me. I must wander the world and see what I can no longer share. What I would not share when I walk where you do.
It must go thus?
The chain? Look at it, Ebenezer. Study it. Locks and vaults and golden coins. I forged it. Each link, each day when I sat in these chairs, commanded these rooms. Read, Ebenezer Scrooge. Well, feel them, know them. Yours was as heavy as this I wear 7 years ago, and you have labored to build it since.
If you're here to lecture, I have no time. It is late, the night is cold. I want comfort now.
I have none to give. I know not how you see me this night. I did not ask it. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. I am commanded to bring you a chance, Ebenezer. Heed it.
Quickly then, quickly.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the chance?
Mark it!
I do not choose to.
Then you will walk where I do. Burdened by your riches, your greed.
Spirits mean nothing to me.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. The second, the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night. The last stroke of 12 has ended. Look to see me no more. I must wander.
Jacob! Don't leave me! Jacob! Jacob!
Goodbye. Goodbye, Ebenezer.
Scrooge pulls the bed curtains shut.
Eight, 9, 10, 11. It can't be. 12. Midnight. No, not 12. It can't be. I haven't slept a whole day through. 12? Yes, 12 noon.
Scrooge hurries to the window and looks out.
Black outside. 12 midnight. I must get up. A day wasted. I must get down to the office. Quarter past. But it just rang 12. 15 minutes haven't gone past. Not so quickly. A quarter to 1. The spirit. It's come at 1.
As the second bell rings out, a spirit appears. It's an ephemeral spirit that appears to be both old and young at the same time, with light streaming from the top of its head.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who? And what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
Your past.
Why are you here?
Your welfare. Come, rise, walk with me.
I am mortal still. I cannot pass through air.
Take my hand.
Scrooge grasps the spirit's hand tightly and remembers a scene from his past in which two boys greet each other in the street.
Hello, Jack.
Ben! Merry Christmas, Ben!
Jack Walton? Young Jack Walton. Spirits?
Hey, have a good holiday, Jack.
Yes, I remember him. Both of them. Little Ben Benjamin. He used to...
See you next term, Jack. Next term.
They're off for the holidays and going home for school. It's Christmas time. All of the children off home now. No, not all. There was one.
The spirit motions for Scrooge to turn, and he sees a young boy sitting on a lonely window seat reading a book.
Yes, reading. Poor boy.
What, I wonder?
Reading? Oh, it was nothing. All fancy and make-believe. And take me away, all of it. Yes, nonsense.
The poor boy is none other than Scrooge himself.
Young man, what do you read?
Ali Baba. It's my favorite. Oh, am I?
It's my favorite book.
Yes, that it was.
Genie, take me to the gate of Damascus.
Yes, O master and jewels, I shall bring you, and gold and my myrrh and frankincense.
And they put him down. Do you remember that silly one at the gate of Damascus in his underpants? Asleep?
Yes, and the genie turned the Sultan's groom upside down and stood him on his head. Served him right, I say.
And all the thieves in the jars of oil.
Yes, and running them through. This and this and this for each of you.
Yes, and remember. Remember Robinson Crusoe?
And the parrot!
Yes, the parrot. I love him best.
With his stripy green body, yellow tail drooping along and couldn't sing. Ah, but one could talk, and the thing like lettuce growing from the top of his head. And he used to sit on the very top of the tree, right up there.
And Robinson Crusoe sailed around the island, and he thought the parrot said,
Robinson Crusoe, where you been? Ah, Robinson Crusoe, where you been?
And Robinson Crusoe looked up in the tree and saw the parrot and knew he hadn't escaped, and he was still there, still all alone.
Ah, poor Robinson Crusoe.
Poor Robinson Crusoe.
Poor child. Poor child.
Why poor?
Fancy it's his way, child's way too. To lose being alone in dreams. Dreams. Never matter if they're all nonsense. Yes, nonsense. But he'll be all right. Grow out of it. Yes. He did outgrow it. The nonsense. Became a man. And left there and he became a man. And yes, successful. Rich. Never matter.
Fanny, Scrooge's sister, runs in and goes to young Scrooge, sweeping him up in an embrace.
Fanny!
Brother,
Dear Fanny.
I've come to bring you home for good and ever. Come with me now.
Fanny takes his hand and they start to fade. They look at the spirit and wave goodbye.
Let me watch them go. Let them be happy for a moment.
The spirit says nothing as the vision of the young siblings fades.
Delicate child. The breath might have withered her.
She dies a woman and had, as I remember, children.
One child.
Your nephew.
Yes. Fred, my nephew. Well, all of us have that, haven't we? Childhoods, sadness. But we grow, we become men, masters of ourselves.
The spirit gestures. The music is heard.
I've no time for it. Spirit, music, and all your Christmas nonsense. Yes. I've learned what you have to show me.
Now the scene of the school fades, and in its place, Scrooge finds himself back in the office of his first employer, Mr. Fezziwig, who, along with young Ebenezer and Dick, appear busily preparing for a party.
Yo-ho there, Ebenezer, Dick!
Fezziwig! It's old Fezziwig that I apprenticed under.
Your master?
Oh, yes, and the best that any boy could have. That's Dick Wilkins, bless me. He was very much attached to me as Dick. He's very much attached to me as I was to Dick. Poor Dick. Dear.
Yo-ho, my boys! No more work tonight! Christmas Eve, Dick! Christmas, Ebenezer! Come on! Let's have the shutters up before a man can say Jack Robinson.
Mr. Fezziwig, sir, you're so wonderful, master.
A wonderful master.
Just because he gave a party? It was very small.
Small?
He spent a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 or 4 at the most. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
But it wasn't the money. He had the power to make us happy, to make our service light or our burdensome. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it had cost a fortune. That's what a good master is.
Yes?
No, nothing.
Something, I think.
I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all.
But this is all in your past. Your clerk, Cratchit, couldn't be here.
No, no, of course not. An idle thought. Are we done?
Nearly.
Surely it's enough. Haven't you tormented me enough?
I only show the past. What is promised you? Look, another promise.
The scene changes again, and we see Scrooge waltzing with a young woman. They look lovingly at each other. They dance seemingly on a cloud, oblivious to all at the party.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten her. Don't they dance beautifully? So young, so young. I would have married her, if only.
Can you love me, Ebenezer? I bring no dowry into my marriage, only love. It is no currency that you can buy and sell with, but can you live with it? Can you?
The scene changes again to a couple standing on a lonely bridge on a winter's day.
I release you, Ebenezer, for the love of the man you once were. Will that man win me again now that he is free?
Oh, Belle, if only you would help me to it. You should not have let me go. I was young. I did love you.
We have never lied to one another. May you be happy in the life you have chosen, Ebenezer. Goodbye.
No. It was not meant that way.
You cannot change now what you would not change then. I am your mistakes, Ebenezer Scrooge. All of the things you could have done and did not.
Then leave me. I have done with them. I shall live with them. As I have, as I do, and as I will.
There is another Christmas, 7 years ago, when Marley died.
No! I will not see it! I will not! He dies. Could not prevent it. I did not choose for him to die on Christmas Day.
And when his day was chosen, what did you do then?
I looked after his affairs.
His business.
Yes, his business, mine, was all I had. All that I could do in this world. I've nothing to do with the world to come after.
Then I will leave you.
Not yet. Don't leave me here. Tell me what I must do. What are the other spirits?
They will come.
Hey, and you? What of you?
I am always with you.
The spirit recedes, and Scrooge finds himself back in his own bed.
1 minute into the one. No one here. No one's coming.
A light comes on. Scrooge becomes aware of it. Hesitantly leaves his bed. Walking towards the light, he sees the second spirit, the spirit of Christmas present, who looks like Fezziwig.
Fezziwig?
Hello, Scrooge.
But you can't be. Not Fezziwig.
Do you see me as him?
I do.
And you hear me as him?
Do I? I do.
I wish I were the gentleman, so as not to disappoint you.
But you're not.
Well, Mr. Scrooge, you have never seen the like of me before. I am the ghost of Christmas present.
But
you will see what you will see, Scrooge, no more. Will you walk out with me into this Christmas Eve?
But I am not yet dressed.
Take my tails, dear boy, we're leaving.
Wait!
What is it now?
Christmas present, did you say?
I did.
Then we are traveling here, In this town, London. Just down there.
Yes, of course.
Then we can walk. Your flying is, well, too sudden for an old man. Well?
It's your Christmas, Scrooge. I am only the guide.
Then we can walk. Where are you guiding me to?
Bob Cratchit's.
My clerk?
You did want to talk to him? Don't worry, you won't have to.
Shouldn't be much of a trip. With 15 bob a week, how far can it be?
A world away, Scrooge, at least that far.
Scrooge and the spirit come to a house. The windows glow warmly. Mrs. Cratchit sings as she puts Tiny Tim and the other children to bed. They're all in one bed, and she pulls the dark blanket over them. Bob Cratchit is sitting by the hearth.
Sleep now, all of you. Christmas tomorrow. How did our little Tiny Tim behave, Bob?
As good as gold and better. He told me coming home that he hoped that people saw him in the church because he was a cripple, and it might be pleasant for them to remember upon Christmas Day who made the lame walk and the blind to see.
He's a good boy.
My dear, let us raise a glass together to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon. I hope and hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, it's Christmas Eve.
It should be Christmas Eve, I'm sure, when one drinks to the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor dear.
I know only one thing on Christmas, and that one must be charitable.
I'll drink to his health for your sake, and the days, not for his. Long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be a very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
If he cannot be, then we must be happy for him.
Spirit, I've seen enough. Tiny Tim, he is very small. Is he well?
He is very ill.
Will he live?
It's a long, cold winter.
But you haven't told me.
If he'd be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Erase, Scrooge, those words from your thoughts. You are not the judge. Do not judge then. It might be that in the sight of heaven, you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions like this poor man's child. Oh God, to hear an insect on a leaf pronouncing that there is too much life among his hungry brothers in the dust. Goodbye, Scrooge.
But is there no happiness in the Christmas present?
There is.
Take me there.
It's at the home of your nephew.
Oh, no.
Then there's none.
But that isn't enough. You must teach me.
Would you have a teacher, Scrooge? Look at your words.
But the first spirit gave me more.
He was Christmas past. There was a lifetime he could choose from. I only have this day, one day, and you, Scrooge. I have lived nearly my fill of both. Christmas present must be gone at midnight, and that is near now.
Two beggar children appear on the street. They are thin and sickly. They are barefoot and wear filthy rags.
Is this the last spirit who is to come to me?
They are not spirits. They are real. Hunger, ignorance, not spirits, Scrooge. Passing dreams, they are real. They walk your streets. They look to you for comfort, and you deny them. Deny them not too long, Scrooge. They will grow and multiply, and they will not remain children. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
You taught me with my own words!
Scrooge covers his eyes and all with his arms. He can bear to see no more. 6 bell chimes, and he is entirely alone for a long moment. He is frightened by the darkness he feels engulfing him. He senses the presence of the third spirit, turns towards him, and sees him. The spirit is bent and cloaked. No physical features are distinguishable.
You are the third? The ghost of Christmas yet to come? Speak to me. Tell me what is to happen? To me, all of us. Then show me what I must see.
The spirit points. Light illuminates the shadow of Scrooge's bedroom, where a corpse lies in the bed. The cook, the porter, and the charwoman are dimly visible.
I know it. I know it too well. Cold and cheerless. It is mine. What is? There are thieves. There are thieves in my room. You cannot tell me that I must watch them and do nothing. I will not. It is mine still.
He ain't about now, is he? Poor old Scrooge, and has met his end.
Time for it, too. Ain't been alive indeed for half his life.
Oddly decent is what I'd say. Oddly decent. The poor old fella's oddly cold, and you're thieving his wardrobe.
No time like the present. A stitch in time, my dear, and I'll take all his stitching.
Now Sparta acknowledges the corpse, gesturing towards it. Scrooge stands as if rooted to the spot, held by the power of the spirit.
He ain't about to bother us, is he?
Ain't he a picture?
If he is, it ain't a happy one.
Shall we start? Cook.
These cufflinks, they're gold, ain't they?
The purest, madam.
I always had a fancy for that nightcap of his. My old man could use it.
Being a man of more practical tastes, I'll go for the worsted and hope the smell ain't permanent.
Do you think that little bell he's always ringing at me is silver enough to sell?
No more! No more! I cannot! I cannot! The room is too like a cheerless place that is familiar. I won't see it. Let us go from here, anywhere.
The tableau fades, and Scrooge finds himself again at the house of his clerk, Bob Cratchit. The children are sitting together near Mrs. Cratchit, who is sewing a coat. Peter reads by the light of the coals.
And he took a child and set him in the midst of them.
Oh, I'll never finish this coat. The light tires my eyes. It makes them tired to try to see the firelight. And I wouldn't show reddened eyes to your father when he comes home for the world. It must be near his time now.
Past it, I think, but he walks slower now than he used to these last few days, Mother.
I have known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulder, very fast indeed, but he was very light to carry, and his father loved him, so that it was no trouble, no trouble. Oh, I hear your father. Smiles, everyone, smiles.
My dear children, how is the coat coming?
Nearly done.
Yes, good. I'm sure that it will be done before Sunday.
Sunday? You went today then, Robert?
Yeah, yes. It's all ready. 2:00. And a nice place. It would have done you good to see how green it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that. that we would walk there on Sunday often.
We mustn't hurt ourselves for it, Robert.
No, we wouldn't have wanted that. Come now. You won't guess who I've seen. Scrooge's nephew, Fred. And he asked after us and said he was heartily sorry and to give his respect to my good wife. How he ever knew that, I don't know.
Knew what, my dear?
Why, that you were a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
I hope they do. Heartily sorry, he said, for your good wife, and if I can be of service to you in any way. And he gave me his card. That's where I live. And Peter, I shouldn't be at all surprised if he got you a position.
Only hear that, Peter.
And then you'll be keeping company with some young girl and setting up for yourself.
Oh, go on.
Well, it will happen one day. But remember, when that day comes, as it must, we must none of us forget poor Tiny Tim and this first parting in our family.
Is he dead? No! You can't tell me that he has died, for that Christmas has not come. I will not let it come. I will be there. It was me. Yes, I knew it. And I couldn't look. I won't be able to help. I won't. Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man that I have been for so many years. Why show me all of this if I am past hope? Let the boy live. I will honor Christmas in my heart. I will in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out these lessons that you teach. Oh, tell me that I'm not too late.
The room spins and whirls, and Scrooge finds himself falling into a deep pit of blackness. He cries out.
No! Let it not be so!
Closes his eyes to hide from his own anguish. Then everything is still. He feels a bed beneath him, his bedclothes covering him, his nightcap on his head. Slowly he opens his eyes to a familiar setting, his own bedroom.
The curtains! They are mine and they are real. They are not stolen. They're here. I am here. The shadows come, maybe dispelled. They will be. I know they will be. I don't know what to do. I'm light as a feather, merry as a boy again. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the world. Hello there. Whoop! What day of the month is it? How long did the spirits keep me?
Scrooge lights to his window, flings it open, breathes in the crisp winter air. He sees a boy below and calls.
Boy, what day is it?
What?
What's the day, my fine fellow?
Today it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night. They can do anything they like. Of course they can. Of course they can save Tim. Oh, my fine fellow.
Hello?
Hello, my fine fellow. Do you know the poachers in the next street in the corner?
I should hope I do.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that's hanging there? Not the little prize, the big one.
What, the one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. Yes, my boy.
It's hanging there right now.
It is? Go and buy it.
Oh, go on.
I'm in the earnest. Go and buy it and tell him to bring it here, and I might give him direction where to take it. Come back with the butcher and I'll give you a shilling. Come back in less than 2 minutes and I'll give you half a crown.
Yes, sir. Directly, sir.
I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. He shan't know who sends it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim, and such a Christmas dinner it'll make. I must dress, I must. It's Christmas Day. I must be in all the best for such a day.
The boy and the butcher appear below with the turkey.
What? Back already? Such a turkey! Why, you can't carry that all the way to Cratchit's here, boy. Here is your £500, and here is the address. See that it makes it there. Here, money for a cab, for the turkey, and for you, good man.
Now Scrooge sees the gentleman visitor he treated so poorly just the previous day walking below.
Hello, sir!
Oh, hello, sir.
My dear sir, how you do? I hope you succeeded yesterday and was very kind to you to stop by and see me.
Mr. Scrooge?
Yes, that's my name, and I fear it may not be as pleasant to you. Allow me to ask your pardon. And will you have the goodness to add this to your good work?
Scrooge tosses his purse to the gentleman below.
Lord bless me. My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
If you please, not a penny less, and a great many back payments are included in it, I assure you. Will you do me a favor? Will you do me that favor?
My dear sir, I don't know what I can say to such generosity.
Say nothing, accept it. Come and see me. Will you come and see me?
I will.
I am much obliged to you, and I thank you 50 times. God bless you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Now dressed, Scrooge runs downstairs, out of the house and onto the street. He hails a passing cab and gives directions to the coachman. We see a well-appointed parlor. Within is Scrooge's nephew, his wife, and their friends. We hear the doorbell ring.
I bless my soul. Who is that?
Scrooge, having been let in by the porter, approaches timidly.
It is I, your Uncle Scrooge. I have come to dinner as invited. Though I spurned your invitation, will you allow me in, Fred?
Let you in? I should say so. Everyone, this is my Uncle Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge. Uncle, this is my wife.
How lovely you are, my dear, and it is my absolute pleasure to meet you at last.
Why, thank you, Uncle. I have long hoped for this day.
Fred introduces Scrooge to his guest, and they sit down to a very merry Christmas dinner. Throughout, Ebenezer finds he must apply a knuckly to a corner of his eye to clear some moisture that consistently insists on gathering. For the first time in many a year, he finds himself happy. The story resumes the next morning. Scrooge is early to the office. He positions himself with a stern countenance next to Bob Cratchit's desk. Enter Bob, nervously looking at his watch.
Hello. What do you mean coming here this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Step this way, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. I shall not repeat it again. I was making rather merry yesterday.
Now, I'll tell you what, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer. And therefore...
Scrooge digs his fingers into Cratchit's chest. Cratchit staggers back, startled.
And therefore, I am about to raise your salary.
Sir, what? What? You're, what?
A Merry Christmas, Bob. A merrier Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, than I've ever given you in many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. And we will discuss your affairs this very afternoon over a Christmas bowl of smoking bishop. Make up the fires and buy another coal cellar before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city knew, or any other city, town, or borough in the good old world. Some people laughed to see the alteration in him, but he let them, because in his own heart he laughed. He had no further interactions with spirit, and it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed in knowledge. May that be truly said of all of us and of all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, each and every one.
And thus closes the curtain on our production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to our cast. And my microphone was dead during the opening introduction, so I will take this opportunity to reintroduce the cast. First, I'll start with the House of Robot veterans, Ilene Sullivan, Fred and Kathy Taht, and new inductees to the House of Robot, Tony Goggles, Jimmy Parker, and Dan Aubrey. Now, Ilene, where do people find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram. I have a Wix account. It's just all Ilene Sullivan.
And Instagram and Facebook as well.
And Facebook.
Now, Kathy has a blog that is on, I think, Facebook and Instagram too. You want to tell us about that a little bit?
Sure. It's all about Philadelphia and fun and interesting off the beaten path things to do in Philadelphia. It's secretsoffphiladelphia.com.
Cool. Fred, where do we find you?
At my home.
Okay.
And for anybody who needs a new dressage saddle, you can find them at Veritas Saddles.
Excellent.
If
Dan?
you have a course.
Yeah.
well, you can find me at US 1 newspaper, Princeton Info Online. I'm a writer, editor there, and it's also in the community news service. You can follow the Trenton Downtowner. Both are on Facebook also, so you can look up US 1 and follow the Trenton Downtowner. We try and cover the area as best we can. The number of people here who I've graced our pages. Thank you.
Cool.
So that's where I can be found.
Thank you. Jaime?
I guess probably Alpha Rabbit, or I made a Space Jam page. I don't know if I made that. I made a Space Jam email. I don't know. Check out Alpha Rabbit
Alpha Rabbit on both Instagram and Facebook, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I'm there.
And the legendary Tony Goggles.
You can find me on my OnlyFans. I'm also on Facebook, DIY Films. It's DI and the word Y with a question mark. DIYfilms.com. My band's Pissed, Honolulu, and Mega now you can find on Facebook and or DIYfilms.com. You can check all my work there.
Cool. And of course, I got everyone, right? Yeah. Of course, for the House of Robot, it's houseofrobot.com or House of Robot on Instagram and Facebook. This was an experiment. I kind of came up with the idea Saturday, and here we are on Wednesday doing it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, everyone, for participating at almost no notice. I thought that was great. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. And have a happy holiday, everyone.
Every happy holiday. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Nice meeting everybody. Take care.